Good afternoon all and welcome on Thursday afternoon on the 14th of January. Hope you are all well. Well, I hope some of you managed to stay out of short dollar positions this morning. Did look like it was going nowhere, but then started moving up. So not bad analysis on that. You could have picked up a few pips if you'd taken euro or cable, but you know, against the prevailing main trend, and probably one morning best sat out. Like I say, there was a couple of small plays here. Cable, you could have taken that back down towards the pivot. Euro wasn't bad through the pivot, but where do you go? You know, there's only what 145.20 to 145.07. You know, there's couple of 10 pip plays there, nothing major. I'd imagine most of you would have done better taking the morning off. Anyway, on to this afternoon. New York. We've got the dollar now. It's just bounced off. You can see here the 4 hour 20 moving average. It's now wedged its way in between the 15-minute 20 above and the 15-minute 50 below. So you can see here as well, we've got a squeeze on with our 60-minute 20 here and a 60-minute 50 here. So is this going to be a resumption of this downward trend? I'm not sure. I mean, we're probably a little bit close to the news. News has only been out as I record this for 20 minutes. I would imagine it was pretty positive news. I don't really pay a lot of attention. I just know what times they are so as not to trade during that period. But you'd imagine it would have been quite positive news, and it would have probably seen Wall Street futures moving up, and that in turn is what has seen this dollar fall off. It's probably a little bit close to the news still at the moment. This information is probably being digested across the banking sector. People squaring up positions, taking fresh positions, whatever. But it does look like that little run of fortune now for the dollar could come to a standstill around about this 76.90 level. Obviously, with a bit of support still below, you'd have to ask yourself the question of, well, how far can it fall as well? Okay, you look here. Let's just see if I can zoom this in. Yes, I have changed my candle colour. You can see that little bit of support coming in there. It's going to need to break back below that to see a resumed bit of noise to the south side. Is it going to come this afternoon? Well, it's a tough call to make, but I'd say if it does fall down, which I'm hoping it will, it's still positive here, so we've got to break back below this WS1 to see this, but this could top out anywhere up here. I'm thinking dollar could fall this afternoon. I'm certainly hoping it will fall a little bit this afternoon, and I'll tell you for why in a second. Let's quickly have a look at cable. Can we trade cable? It's not particularly interesting chart, is it? It looks a little bit scrappy. Not one for me. Euro dollar below the pivot, below everything, not looking that appealing at all. Aussie, do you want to be going long on Aussie when the averages are suggesting further moves south for the time being? I suppose, you know, in a way you have got a little bit of resistance, and if that manages to get back above there, but then you're buying at DR2. You don't want to be doing that at all. Kiwi, I'm hoping and praying that Kiwi does manage to push up, because I had a little order sat above this previous high. It got kicked in, and since then it's just been on the slide. So I'm hoping that that's going to push up. If I just zoom this back a little bit, the reason I liked this, why? Because I've got my 5-minute 20 above a 15-minute 20, fresh cross not too long ago at midnight or thereabouts, above my daily pivot, everything in the correct order. It did look like it was going to go for a bit, but I guess it was just a little bit overbought on here and here, and then had to slip back with that dirty dollar. But anyway, we're back in the green. We've had a nice retracement. We're back on the green with the 21 CCI as well. We've got the trigger coming in. My 15-minute 20 and 50 are still stacked in the correct order, as are my 60-minute 20 and 50 here. Okay, so this is what I want to be looking at. little push up perhaps to this level. Okay, so this what's 33-ish, and then a pull back to test the support around about this 23 level, and then we can get in anticipating that break there. There's going to be a little bit of resistance on here, but it looks like it's been trying to break that, doesn't it? So I quite like it. I'm hoping that it's going to push up. If it doesn't, I'm going to cost myself a few quid. I'm not going to be able to go to the pub tonight and watch the football. But with dollar index breaking through that monthly pivot as we speak, I'm forever hopeful that this is one of the stronger currencies out there, the Kiwi. And if the dollar does fall, the Kiwi will be the one for me to be on. I'm not really going to, if it messes around up here and does nothing, I'm just going to close it out with -2, -5, whatever. Might even get us turn a small profit, which would be nice. But this is the plan. Push up to this level, pull back down to test the support, and then with the trigger, then we can hit that. So we're getting around about 25. It's got to be 20, 30, 40, 50 pips on this, I feel. I'm just going to change the time frame on this momentarily. So we look at that slightly bigger picture. Look, it does look like it wants to push up, doesn't it? Here's my 15-minute chart. Does look quite good, doesn't it? I do think so. That's one for me. If I just switch back to stealth mode on the 5-minute there, what we're going to see is bang up here, down to here, push up from around about this level in at 23, and your stop will be around about the 13 level. So only a 12-point stop if it goes. Okay, next up, Swissy. What's Swissy telling us? Well, there was a lovely little play on here this morning. You could have played that break of that 60-minute 50, played it up to there, could have held for a little bit longer. Now looks a little bit weak, doesn't it? Unless it bounces off this region. If it bounces off this region, there's going to be all sorts of trouble. You've got a fresh 60-minute fresh 60-minute golden cross coming in there. That will then create the silver cross. That is the 60-minute 20 through the 4-hour 20, and then all hell will break loose and dollar will become strong. But I'm hoping that this dollar Swiss will push through this pivot. Not one for trading. You can't go long. You can't really go short at the moment. Leave that alone. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD looked promising through here, didn't it, until the news struck. But that looks weak again now as well also. However, you are, look, miles away from your pivot. So that's not really one to get involved in. I think the Kiwi will be the best pick for me, not just because I'm in it, but I just do think that technically it's the best setup. You're above your daily pivot. Your 60-minute 20 and 50 are here protecting as well. Your 15-minute 20 has remained above your 50. And you're just looking at the silver cross coming in now. What is that? Let's have a little look there. There you go. You have, this is your 5-minute 20 crossing up through your 15-minute 20. That's a fresh silver cross. So a 1-2 bam on that one, and that should stand us in good stead. But keep an eye on that dollar index. If that doesn't, if that starts to move up, you don't want to be looking at this position. You can just laugh at me for having done my brains. I'll see you later. Bye for now.